it started. Let's get it started in here.
Hiya, pal. Gosh, we've got a mystery to solve. Yo, what is up there, guys? Ed the Wiz back at it again for another video, and today what we're going to be talking about, of course, is, who did it? Who's the one that killed my wife, Strelitzia? I still can't get over it, but I got a couple theories, and that's what we're going to be talking about right here, right now, so let's get right on to it. So, okay, who killed Strelitzia? Of course, it was a shadowy figure, so we don't know exactly who it was, but I have a couple ideas on who it could be. So first up is suspect number one, and that, of course, is none other than Blaine. Now I say Blaine for a couple of reasons. Just looking at this character overall, he's kind of a shady dude. You don't really see his eyes or face. We don't really know too much about him. Although one thing that I have to point out that I think is extremely important is that when we first saw Blaine appear, he was holding this green notebook right over here. Now I want to go ahead and move on to this scene and pay very close attention to what happens. Okay, so now go ahead and pay attention to this part. Alright, so as you saw, the Master of Masters gave Ava a copy of the Book of Prophecies to give to a specific person from the 5 leaders of the Dandelions, and that specific person that Ava ended up giving the book to was Strelitzia, and as the Masters of Masters said, this person is going to play a very important role, and as we all know, Strelitzia's name means the bird of paradise, so it makes perfect sense that Strelitzia was the one chosen, and she does have the green book. So you see the connection right there? Oh my god, this is crazy. And like I mentioned before, Blaine was the first person that we saw to ever have one of those green books, but technically the book belonged to Strelitzia, so oh my god, now I'm starting to think that maybe Blaine was the one that killed Strelitzia and took the book from her. So oh my god, that's why I think it's quite possible that Blaine was the one that indeed killed Strelitzia and he took the book from her. So oh my god, but that's suspect number one. Now if we go ahead and talk about suspect number two, and that of course is none other than the Cherisi. And now you're probably thinking, what, Ed the Wiz, what do you mean the Cherisi? Well, if you go ahead and think about it, the Cherisi was acting pretty darn sketchy, saying that, oh, I don't know if Strelitzia is cut out to be a leader, she can't go ahead and start spreading word that, the world's gonna end and all that. So the Cherisi might have been like, for the greater good, I'm sorry Strelitzia, but, I kind of have to put an end to you. So perhaps Strelitzia's Cherisi ended up tipping someone off about this, and they made a deal that they were gonna go ahead and kill Strelitzia. And the reason I say that is because the Cherisi led Strelitzia to that empty warehouse or whatever. It was all the Cherisi, so that's quite the possibility. Perhaps Cherisi made a deal with someone and that person ended up killing Strelitzia. As far as I know, Strelitzia is, she's officially dead at this point. As for her Cherisi, we didn't see her Cherisi disappear, it could still be alive. Who really knows what's going on? So that's basically why I think Cherisi is a pretty big suspect in all this. Cherisi obviously didn't kill Strelitzia, but the Cherisi might have definitely had some part in Strelitzia's death. And the final suspect, of course, is none other than Lori-Am, aka Marluxia somebody right over here. Now, there's a lot of things kind of pointing out at the fact that it could be Lori-Am. Now, one thing, of course, is that, Lori-Am, aka Marluxia, if you remember Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2, the opening for Marluxia, one of the words that appear is graceful assassin. And what did we just witness in this game? We literally just witnessed Strelitzia getting assassinated by somebody. And it's pretty darn interesting how they did the transition from, right from Strelitzia's death to going ahead and meeting Loriam. Not to mention the fact that Loriam was the last person to show up at the meeting. Now, like I mentioned earlier about, you know, the whole, oh, it could have been Chirisi thing, maybe the person that Chirisi hired was Loriam, or perhaps Loriam just overheard their conversation because, you know, he is a graceful assassin, so that's quite the possibility that maybe he just got the jump on them. And as we all know, Marluxia is obsessed with the Keyblade, and this makes me think that he has some crazy motives going on right over here. I don't want to talk about it too much in this video, I want to save it for another video, but it makes me think, like, you know, one thing that a lot of people were thinking was the fact that, oh, well, since this is the world of Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, you know, since Marluxia is going to be a leader, perhaps he can wield a Keyblade, but as far as we know, Loriam might not be able to use a Keyblade. We'll just have to wait and see, but if anything, perhaps he is using this as an opportunity to kind of gain control of the Keyblade, or if anything, manipulate the Keyblade wielders as his own personal Keyblade weapon. Like, you kind of get what I'm trying to say over here, basically some manipulation right over here, and this is pretty darn interesting because, as we all know, the Masters of Master has said continuously that there is a traitor within the groups, but as far as we know, there is no real traitor within the foreteller, so perhaps the traitor that he was talking about is within the Dandelion leaders right over here, and oh my god, my mind is exploding from all these theories and possibilities right over here. And of course, the crazy thing is that, you know, none of the Dandelion leaders know about Strelitzia's death, unless, you know, of course, Blaine was the one that killed her, but basically what I'm trying to say is, like, you know, there's technically a traitor within their group, and nobody knows about Strelitzia, and oh no, I cannot wait to see how Master Ava reacts to this. I'm assuming she's gonna find out about this sooner or later. So guys, that's basically it for this video. Again, I still think Blaine is a strong possibility, seeing as how he was the one carrying the green book that was passed on to Strelitzia. Again, the Chirisi was pretty sketchy, and I find it pretty darn interesting how we went from Strelitzia's death straight up to Marluxia right over here, unless they did that on purpose to make us think that Marluxia was the one that killed Strelitzia. Oh god, with Square Enix, you never really know. So guys, what I'd love to know in the comment section below is, you know, what do you think? Who do you think killed my girl Strelitzia? And if you have any theories, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, as that really helps me out. And until next time, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and say bye, pal. We'll see ya real soon. I think Blaine's the one that did it.